Okay, so we're at a party on Belmont, just off of Sheffield, west of Sheffield. And just want to clarify.
Okay.
And I'm beyond hammered. Oh, we go to Matt's car. I fall asleep. Now, this is about probably last summer. There was an awful rainstorm where all of the expressways were flooded. I mean, everything was flooded. So I pass out in the driver's seat. Matt's calling Lenny on the cell phone and trying to get Lenny to give him directions. Now, we're on 90-94, and I woke up at this point, and Matt's like, now make sure you stay up because I'm going to get off the expressway, and I was going to have him take Halstead to Roosevelt and then get on the Stevenson. So I pass out at this point again. Go ahead, interject.
Well, didn't Lenny tell me to take Damon?
I was sleeping. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, I call up Lenny, and he's like, Matty, I'm on my way home, and it would a fucking flood. Oh, fuck. I want to tell you, take Damon. Now, Lenny swears he never said this. He says some other street now. I forget.
California is how you get on the Stevenson.
That's what he said. Told me to take California.
I could see how he would say that because Damon sounds just like California.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty sure I heard Damon. But Lenny got home that night, and he had a flood in his basement, so he was up till 6 a.m. dealing with that. But anyways, so we take Damon.
And you can't get on the Stevenson going south on Damon. So Matt's driving around, and at some point he finally just screams, Chuck, wake up. So I wake up, and I'm like, where the hell are we? And he's like, I don't know. So I look at my GPS, and I'm like, okay, we're on Kedzie. How we got to Kedzie, no idea. I'm like, at some point, we're going to have to make a right and go west to get on to Pulaski, and then from Pulaski, we can get on the Stevenson. So Matt makes a right down the first street he comes to. And I said, Matt, I didn't say take a right here. Some of these streets don't get through. So we go about a couple of blocks, and we come underneath a viaduct. And underneath the viaduct is just like a river of water. I mean, we're talking about like the Mississippi here. And we see a car a little bit bigger than Matt's go through it. And I'm like, Matt, don't do it, go around. So Matt's like, I'm going to do it. I'm in a Cadillac. So he goes through, and we get about halfway till the car stalls. And now water is coming up from the side doors. And Matt's like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, we're going to have to get out and push. So I go to open the door, and he's like, don't open the door. And I'm like, all right, sorry. I'm like, what are you going to do? So he takes off his shirt, he takes off his shoes, and he takes off his pants. And he looks at me, and I'm like, Matt, what are you doing? And he looks at me, and he's like, don't just stand there, get naked and help me. So what do? I say, okay, I take off my shoes, and I take off my pants. We both climb out of his driver's side window. Now we're both pushing
out the window, yeah.
Out the window. Yeah. We push the car down through the water.
Yeah.
So now
broken glass, and like.
Oh, by the way, yeah. I should say we were on 22nd and Kedzie in the middle of the Hispanic ghetto. So we get the car down and up through it. So we're like, what are we doing? And there's just more water. So then the geniuses of us decide we're going to push the car back down and back up the other way so we can turn around and go back out. So we go to do that. Now I'm pushing the front of the car, and I was able to get it down the hill, but I can't get it up the hill. So Matt's got his arm in the driver's side window with his hand on the steering wheel, and he's like, push, push, push. And I'm screaming, you fat piece of crap. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm steering. And I'm like, get your fat ass down here, and you help me push your fucking car. Or I'm pissed off because now I'm dead sober. Mind you, I should just stop and explain. Me and Matt are both in our socks, our boxers. He's wearing an undershirt, and I'm wearing a Dago tee, and that's it.
Wow.
So we finished pushing the car back up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So the car's out of the water, so now we get back in the car, and we're waiting. Matt can't start the car. We're waiting a little bit longer. He can't start the car. He calls his dad. His dad is just shocked and utterly amazed. He tells us to call a taxi. So Matt's got his AAA card, calls the AAA card, explains to them, I'm on GPS. I'm letting them know where we're at and everything. So, at the end of the conversation, she goes, okay, it'll be about 30 minutes to an hour before we can get a tow truck to you.
Poor shit.
Or is there anything else we can do for you? Matt goes, can you bring us some clothes? The lady on the phone goes, excuse me? Matt goes, can you bring us some clothes, We're naked. I slapped Matt's hand, and I scream, "Shut up!" I'm like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. My friend's an idiot. We're not naked. What happened is that we got wet, so we had to take our shirts off. Don't worry. We have clothes on. We're naked." I'm like, I put my hand over the phone. I'm like, "You dumb son of a bitch. Don't tell them we're naked. They're never going to send anybody out here." So they said it'll be about a half hour to an hour. An hour and a half calls. Somebody calls, and they said, the tow truck that was on its way to you is stuck in the rain. We're like, great. So we had to wait about another 40 minutes. So finally they said, we're sending a tow truck out to you. Now, me and Matt are still sitting in this car in our boxers and our undershirts, and all of a sudden...
Why didn't you put your clothes back on?
They were soaking wet. Oh, because at this point, both... all of the floor, the interior of the car is like a river in there.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, everything was just totally destroyed.
2 feet of water.
So finally this guy comes in a little van, and he knocks on the window,
cars.
And he goes, "Hey, how you guys doing today? Is there anything I can help you with?" And Matt just looks at him and goes, "Yeah, where's the fucking tow truck?" So we start laughing, and he goes, "Well, can you pop your hood? I just want to do a test." I go, "The battery works. We got the radio on and everything." He's like, "Okay, just turn everything off. I just got to do a couple tests." We're like, "Okay." 10 minutes later, he comes knocking on the window. We roll the window down. He goes, "Well, the good news is your battery works." I'm like, "You stupid son of a bitch. I just told you the battery works." He's like, "A tow truck will be here in an hour." At this point, we both fall asleep. We wake up. It's like 2 hours later. Oh, we woke up because the phone rang, and it's them saying...
Well, you forgot the best part was when he got to the car and saw us with no clothes on.
Yeah. Oh, and Matt goes, "As you can see, we're naked." And I'm screaming at him to stop telling people we're naked. So finally, they call and they say, right now, because of down power lines and trees and stuff, they're not sending any tow trucks in this general area. So now we're like, okay, now the sun's up. All the water's dry on the street. I call my dad. I explain to him what's going on.
Your dad, a retired cop.
Yeah, it took him 5 minutes to stop laughing before I can get another word in. He would stop and then just start laughing again.
This coming from a man who wears Zoop pads and fanny packs.
Yes. Yes, it is.
He couldn't stop laughing.
He couldn't stop laughing.
Wait, Zoop?
Yeah, the little
Zubas?
Yeah, those
old 1990
they got like the zebra print.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love Zubas.
He still wears those with fanny packs.
First of all, Matt, you should be on This American Life. I don't know why Ira Glass hasn't snatched you up.
Oh, I don't either.
Secondly, you remembered this all in quite lucid clarity. I have to say.
Yeah, because he tells the story to everybody. And then
this is
I don't know why you wouldn't want that story told on the air. I think it compliments
you. Oh, it gets worse.
I think it speaks to your fortitude.
Yeah, it does get worse.
His dad and his sister showed up, and I wouldn't put my pants on.
Yeah, at this point, I put my pants on.
And Gina's there, and I'm like,
so my sister looks him up and down, looks me up and down. She looks at me again, and she goes, "What, you two fucking fat asses had to get a burrito in the middle of the Mexican fucking ghetto?" Like, no. So then, tow truck, my dad gets
Mexicans,
a tow truck.
We haven't offended those people yet.
We have
My
now.
dad gets a tow truck in like 90 seconds. Tow truck comes, we tell them, we're like, okay, this is where we're going.
Yeah, the mysterious tow trucks that take 6 hours to get there, his dad gets one in 90 seconds, yeah.
So the tow truck comes, get everything up, I go to the tow truck guy, "Are you following me?" He says, "No." I said, "Do you have the address?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Do you want me to write down directions for you?" "No." So I go to throw some stuff into my car. Matt asks him the exact same questions. He goes, "I'll write down my address, Downers Grove, you know where we're going." Guy goes, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." I said, "Now you're not following me." He says, "No, I'll meet you there." Okay. We get in our car. We start driving. We get about 10 minutes. Matt's cell phone rings. It's his mother. "There's not a brain cell between you two dumbasses. You don't give the tow truck driver the address of where he's dropping off the car." Now, we're both mad because we both asked this tow truck driver 20 times, did he know where we're going? So finally, Matt's mom thankfully got it straightened out. We're driving back now. Matt's aggravating me about every little mistake that
I wouldn't put my pants on, and you were mad about that.
And he's like, "You're going 2 miles over the speed limit. You gonna brake here?" Now, stop. On our way there, when Matt was driving in the beginning of the night, he made me listen to the Ally McBeal soundtrack.
It was in the car.
It's Robert Downey. It's good music. What he doesn't tell you is that he bought it and he put it in the car. So, Adam, you'll like this. On the way back, I got sick of Matt. I just put in Hatebreed and just blared it. Oh, I'm sorry, Soil Work.
Yeah, that was fucking annoying.
Then he said, get this out. So finally I took out Soil Work, and I'm like, fine, but this is the last CD I'm putting in, and I put in All That Remains. And then
usually
I dropped him off
when
at my
Chuck
car.
drives with me, he listens to good music, and this was just painful on my ears.
This was just not one of those times.
And then I just dropped him off, and I go, all right, Matt, here's the rules. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't Facebook me. I don't want to hear from you for 3 goddamn weeks.
Because it was my fault.
Away.
I got drunk, fell asleep, and couldn't find the way back home, right?
Well,
yeah, he was no help at all. But it was my fault. Right, no, my fault.
Listen, in his defense, Chuck, I think when Matt tells you to take your clothes off in an emergency situation,
I should leave him
you
on.
don't give him any lip. You fucking do it.
No, I did. I took my clothes off.
I think he has a tremendous sense of stick-to-itiveness and fortitude.